naked. I'm naked. I'm naked and not ashamed.
Oh God.
I'm naked. Oh yeah. I'm naked. I'm naked and not ashamed.
Welcome to the Naked and Not Ashamed with your host, Lateka Carter.
And not ashamed. Hello, welcome to Naked and Not Ashamed. You're here with my guest, Nikita Lowe, who is an author, Abuse Without Colors. Phenomenal woman indeed she is, a woman of power and strength, and we're so glad to have her here on the show. Welcome, Nikita.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So I do understand that this is not an easy show for you to do, to sit down with me, with your book, with your life, and I want people to understand you're beautiful, you look good, you got it together, but you still have those things where it's called being transparent. And it's not easy to take your clothes off in front of people that you don't know. So this is a metaphor where you're taking your clothes off today, correct?
Correct.
So Nikita is here with us, and she's going to fill us in about who Nikita is today.
Wow, who I am today. Today, I'm an empowerment speaker.
Okay.
I'm an author. I'm a mom. I'm a motivator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a minister.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an advocate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a student.
Wow, she just putting those hats on, right up.
But most of all, I'm different.
I like that. So when you say different, how do you mean different?
Well, I always tell people that every decision I made in life is right because it was based on my own knowledge. And once I learned better and I knew better, I did better. And so I became different.
Okay.
But there's no wrong decision that I made. You know, it may have been wrong to others, but it was always right to me.
Right, that's understandable. So this is who you are today. Now, before we go into who Nikita was, what made you want to come on the show and be naked?
Well, I believe in transparency.
Okay.
I believe in accountability. And, you know, I think that the platform that you provide for people to talk about those dark secrets, those things that we don't share with others unless we feel like we can trust them, is empowering. And there are so many people walking around with things that they wish that they could share with others, that they wish that they could be transparent about. And at this place in my life, I am excited that I'm there, that I can do that. And, you know, I don't cry as much. You know, I do still shed tears. But I think in letting people see you and see that you're just like them, it gives them strength to go forward and fulfill their dreams. There's so many people not living their dreams.
Right. And that is what we're trying to do here when we talk about, we don't want people to come on and just air your business. It's not about telling your business. It's about that release. Because there is a sense of release that you get when you just exhale it all out as much as possible. And you feel that sense of freedom that you didn't feel prior to that. So tell us, who was Nikita then, since you said she's different now?
Nikita then, she was afraid. She was ashamed, you know, really ashamed. I never thought I was beautiful. Never thought that. I've always been outspoken, always been a leader, always been driven. However, when I was around 6, 7, I was molested. And I had no idea that it was wrong.
Wow.
I didn't know. It was someone that I trusted, and I gave away trust easily, very loyal. And a friend of mine in elementary school, she almost committed suicide.
Elementary school?
Elementary school. Young, we were young. And she almost committed suicide, and I wanted to know what it was that could make her feel like life wasn't worth living, because I didn't understand anything like that at that time.
Yes.
You know, and I loved everybody. You know, I just wanted to make everybody feel happy. And so she was out of school for a few days, and when she came back to school, you know, I wanted to know what it was.
Right.
And you know, she just said, well, I can't tell it. I can't tell anybody. I said, well, tell me, I'm your friend. You can talk to me.
This is a young girl in elementary school saying that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And so she said, you know, my father touched me. And I said, well, touched you how? You know, just as innocent as we are as kids.
Right.
And she started saying how he touched her. And I said, well, Mom, he touches me like that all the time. So
Did the light bulb go off then?
It didn't. I became very angry at her because I'm like, what are you saying?
Mm-hmm. It was like, this was not the norm. It was registering like, I'm not wrong for what I'm doing.
Yeah, like,
my
is
dad
that
loves
wrong?
me and this is what he's doing.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was wrong. Amazing. And so it led me on that path of betrayal. Because that was betrayal. I thought that it was okay. I thought that it was right. And I went home and I told my mom.
Oh.
Just because you're just innocent. You just want to share it.
She didn't know before?
Not that I know of.
Oh, my. So how did that go?
And she just said, you know, if you're lying, you know, I'm going to confront him. And I said, well, okay, that's fine. Because I knew I was not being dishonest.
Right.
And to make a long story short, she confronted him in front of me. He said, you know, how could you believe what she said? I didn't do that to her. He said, how could you lie like that? And my life changed from that point on.
So there was another bout of betrayal that you felt even then?
Because I thought that, you know, he should have been honest. I didn't know what dishonesty was.
So how was life for you after that point when you said things changed? From that's you being a young girl in elementary school. How did things change from that into the teenage years of your life?
As a teenager, I wasn't interested in boys. I mean, a lot of times people say it makes you promiscuous, but it didn't. I wasn't interested in boys because I was really in a relationship already with a grown man.
As a teenager?
As a teenager. I mean, it was still going on. It didn't stop just because I said that it happened.
Are you talking about him? Mm-hmm. So, wow, okay.
So it continued on.
Okay.
Because nothing was done.
Uh-huh.
So it continued on, and because, you know, I wanted to be loyal. I wanted that relationship back. I wanted that trust back. I felt like it was my fault. Right. I felt like it was something that I could do to make it better, and so it continued on. And so, you know, when I wanted to date boys, I was so much more mature than those boys. They wanted to hold hands and go to the prom, and they weren't on my level. So I was always alone.
Okay, so from that point in your life, when did you get to that place of, did you start experiencing hurt and rejection and all of those things when you start going into your 20s?
Let's see, 20s. I think it was all along because, you know, what he taught me was that, you know, a guy, if he didn't want sex, he didn't want you. So when I met guys that wanted to be brothers to me and didn't want sex, I felt like there was something wrong with me. I didn't say that, but I always felt like that. And, you know, I just struggled in relationships. I struggled in wanting to be in them. I really didn't want relationships. I was so focused on my books and school and, you know, being an attorney, but I wanted to have that interaction with boys. I mean, I grew up with boys. And, you know, in my 20s, I got married when I was, I think, 20.
So how was that different, being that you were involved with that other relationship that you felt you had, and then you married someone else? How different was that?
Well, the molestation ended when I was probably about 13. So I had 7 years in between. But when I got married, my husband was not someone I could talk to. So I became someone I wasn't.
Okay.
Because he was a good guy, but, you know, I just couldn't tell him what was going on.
Wow. Okay, so when we come back, Nikita, we're going to wrap this up and find out what made you step out of that place into a place of empowerment where you are. We'll be right back.
Triad, get ready for the most entertaining day-long event of 2014 as Anointed Vessels for Christ Outreach presents the 7th Annual Greensboro Health, Beauty, and Business Expo, May 31st from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Meridian Convention and Event Center at 312 West Meadowview Road, Greensboro, North Carolina. Guest appearances by Tony Grant from Tyler Perry's Love Thy Neighbor, Justin the Beloved, Keisha McCain, and Brandon Green. This expo also features a comedy show, gospel artist showcase, door prizes, health screening, live entertainment, DJ, free sampling, face painting, and more. Tickets for adults start at $15 in advance and $20 at the door. Children under 9 are $5 and VIP tickets are just $30. For more information, call 336-907-7245 or purchase tickets online at www.greensborohealthexpo.com. All proceeds are in aid of scholarship programs and school supply giveaways. We'll see you there. You don't want to miss it.
Hi, my name is Graylin Brown here at Challenge Florist and Coffee House, where we have many floral designs to fit your floral needs. We also provide coffees for many different countries, such as Tanzania, Ugandan, Walla Walla, and our very own House Blend. Come see us at 709 East Market Street, Greensboro, North Carolina. Family owned and operated. Thank you.
Welcome back to Naked and Not Ashamed with your host here, Lateka Carter, and Nikita Lowe is my guest who has just been naked with us. But there's a twist because she is so powerful today. Now we want to know, fast forwarding with life, you got married. Now, what happened in that marriage as far as how did you feel? How do you get out of that place of the things that you were dealing with prior to your marriage?
Well, when I got married, it was a platform of empowerment. I started going to college.
Okay.
Had sons of my own.
Okay.
And I started learning myself.
Okay.
And I started learning that it wasn't my fault. And that there was nothing wrong with me. And I started becoming more outspoken. Started involving myself in advocacy events where, you know, you were dealing with underserved citizens, no matter what it was they were facing. And I started pushing myself to be a voice for the voiceless.
Awesome. Okay, so we fast forwarded. Now I want to know, how did this book come into place? Because this is a deep book, my sister. You're talking about abuse without colors. Tell me what this title means to you, and then tell me how you wanted to bring forth this book.
Well, Abuse Without Colors came to me in a dream. You know, every time I would be sad, I would always write a little note to myself and journal my feelings. And in a dream, this Abuse Without Colors came to me. I hadn't even wrote a book. I hadn't even thought about a book at all. And I started putting my notes up under this title. And after I got divorced, I ended up in a relationship that was emotionally abusive, verbally abusive. And it was almost like a mirror, you know, and I took a stand and I said no more. And so as I realized how long I had been in that relationship, that's how long, you know, I wrote the majority of the book.
Oh, okay.
And so it was just an awareness for me. I'd been in it 3 years. And I was very disappointed in myself that in being a voice for other people, I wasn't a voice for myself.
Wow, man, that is powerful. A lot of people don't see that. They're so busy seeing what they're doing for other people and getting out there, making stuff happen that they felt, and they neglect themselves. So that's what you're saying, that you came to this place of, wait a minute. What's going on, Nikita?
And I just said no more. And I didn't want another person to ever, you know, have that type of story. I didn't want anybody to be empowered through my story at that place. I wanted it to be a preventive measure, you know, that people would see these signs in relationships and know that this is not okay. This is not God's will for your life. This is not happiness. This is not what you deserve. And that's where I've been on a journey to empower others, to know that you don't have to put up with anything that you don't want to. But at first you have to be accountable.
Right.
You're in that relationship because you want to be for some reason,
right.
and you have to face that issue.
Yeah, you do. And a lot of people look for love, and they want love, but then they don't know how to really give love because they first don't know themselves. And even the Creator, God, that gives it to us. So when you begin to identify you, is that when you would say your power came full force?
When I began to identify myself and be comfortable in my own skin, I didn't care what other people thought. I was ready to take on the challenge. I was ready to empower. I was ready to be that voice that I had already been, but, you know, silently. I was ready to say, you know, this is not God's will for my life. There's nothing that I did wrong. And the book came to be. I mean, a lot of people think that, you know, there's karma and there's certain things that you did in life to deserve certain things, so they're so ashamed because they think that people are going to say, well, you had to have done something.
Yeah.
But I did nothing to deserve what happened to me. But I still had to be accountable for the decisions that I made thereafter and demand the respect and love that I deserved. I always gave love away. I always gave loyalty away.
We do it so easily. So even as a young woman today, and you speak to audiences all around, and you're looking at people out there that have your story, and they're clothed where you can't really see it. But when you go out and you're speaking to these people, what are the reactions that you get when you just start talking to them and telling them the realness of you, of what you've been through, and they see the power that you possess now?
A lot of times people come to me privately.
Yeah.
You know, they're still at that, you know, they're still at that place. Like, I'll talk about it, but I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
A lot of times people cry because I'm so transparent. And I don't mind talking about it. And I don't feel like I'm a victim. I don't have that personality. I don't have that characteristic. You don't hear me pointing the finger. These are tragic things that happened to me, unfortunately. I don't know what I could have done to have changed them, but I know what I can do to keep them from happening to myself and to other people who will listen to my message. And so I get mixed feedback, but I've never gotten anything negative. I have men come to me, boys, girls, women, old, young, and say, there's something that I'm dealing with that I've never shared, and I want to know how to tell my family. And I just say, when it's time, you'll know. Because I'm here to help them walk that journey, but I can't walk it for them.
So what's on the horizon for Kiki, though?
Well, since you ask, I'm working on my PhD in criminal justice. I am preparing to teach high school, 9th grade social studies, so pray for me on that. I see myself empowering people continuously. I see myself stronger. I see myself more driven. I see myself unstoppable. I see myself everywhere there's not a voice. And I see people taking accountability for their lives and living their dreams and fulfilling their dreams.
And that's what it's about. So I see so much purpose and passion in you. It's an honor to have you sit here with me. We'll be right back.
Triad, get ready for the most entertaining day-long event of 2014 as Anointed Vessels for Christ Outreach presents the 7th Annual Greensboro Health, Beauty, and Business Expo, May 31st from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Meridian Convention and Event Center at 312 West Meadowview Road, Greensboro, North Carolina. Guest appearances by Tony Grant from Tyler Perry's Love Thy Neighbor, Justin the Beloved, Keisha McCain, and Brandon Green. This expo also features a comedy show, gospel artist showcase, door prizes, health screening, live entertainment, DJ, free sampling, face painting, and more. Tickets for adults start at $15 in advance and $20 at the door. Children under 9 are $5 and VIP tickets are just $30. For more information, call 336-907-7245 or purchase tickets online at www.greensborohealthexpo.com. All proceeds are in aid of scholarship programs and school supply giveaways. We'll see you there. You don't want to miss it.
Hi, my name is Graylin Brown here at Challenge Florist and Coffee House, where we have many floral designs to fit your floral needs. We also provide coffees for many different countries, such as Tanzania, Ugandan, Walla Walla, and our very own House Blend. Come see us at 709 East Market Street, Greensboro, North Carolina. Family owned and operated. Thank you.
Are you someone who has faced adversity or who have overcame obstacles in your life? Do you have any experience that you have not shared and you want to share with people so that they can see what you have to offer as a person? Naked and Not Ashamed is here to provide support. We can help you feel comfortable in releasing. We want you to divorce your past so that you can marry your future. Reach out to us. Send us an inquiry with your name and a brief story to nakedandnotashamedshow@gmail.com, as well as our social media. We're here for you. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Welcome back to Naked and Not Ashamed. I'm your host, Lateka Carter, with the beautiful Nikita Lowe here, who has filled you in on her past, her present, and her future. So Nikita, what is it that you would want people to take from this, from you, who you are as a person?
I think if there's anything that people can take from me to continue on their journey, is strength, empowerment, value, loyalty to self, awareness, unconditional love.
I've heard you say that a lot about the unconditional love, and you do love. And because of what you have been through, I feel that God has really taught you the value of love and how to love and what it's all about. So if I was a woman in your situation that you have been in, being abused without colors, and I came to you, what would you tell me?
First, I would ask you, what do you really want? What do you really want to see in your life? Where do you want to be? And is this going to help you get there? I mean, the answer is pretty simple. You have to know your value. You have to know your worth. You have to know what you deserve before you can ever decide to leave.
That's good. I appreciate you taking the time with us, being on the show, and being naked and not ashamed, girl, because you did your thing. And we know it's not easy sitting in that seat. People may see you looking all glam and good because she beautiful, isn't she? But it's not easy. But how do you feel now? Let's just go ahead and let people, do you feel better since you released and you talked about it?
I feel really good. I feel that the more I share my journey, the more empowered I am to continue the rest of my journey. Each step, you know, taking it one step at a time, one foot in front of the other, it empowers me. And it definitely empowers me to see other people changing their lives and their lifestyles because they've heard something that I've said that made them realize, because some people don't even know that they're unhappy and they want something different. And if at any point they can take something from my story, not necessarily the events that happened to me, they're not all the same. No one will go through probably the same thing, and no one can take your experience away from you. But to know that until you know what you deserve, you'll have a hard time leaving anything that you don't want to be in.
Wow. That's good stuff. Thank you again. We appreciate you being on the show with us.
Thank you.
All right. I am going to read the excerpt from Nikita Lowe's book, A True Story, Abuse Without Colors. A story about love, loss, loyalty, fear, and reflection. So we're going to go into the book. Why am I inspired to write? This is an interesting question. Why am I inspired to write? It gives me empowerment and motivates me to keep up the fight. I have found a good place of internal peace, and my pen is a source of solitude. Looking back over my words, they reveal strength, and I take on a more positive attitude. You got to get this book. Now we're going to read a little bit about the untitled portion. Why do we make excuses for wrongdoing? Blame evil? The new saying, it is what it is. Sound familiar? We have a will, and that controls how we act and how we live. Hearts motivate, but a heart deceived cannot understand love. A person can't go to church, be taught, or live right. This gift only comes from above. A perfect person has nothing to learn every day they already know. They don't accept wisdom or constructive criticism, don't even think they need to grow. I'm going to read another part right here that says, if you have Christ in your heart, another servant you cannot easily hurt. Stop playing games. You deceived me with that big word, Jesus, on your shirt. Whew. Now, the dedication of this book is dedicated to the loves in my life, those who make me who I am, those who inspire me to keep pressing beyond my own understanding and strength. I have shed many tears as I finished this book, at times unable to keep writing, but I am stronger than I think, and so are you. Writing this story has been a mirror for me and the changes I have gone through towards growth and maturity. The next book I hope to read will belong to you, with your name in the author's box. Don't give up, and please don't give in. You are so much more important than your story, and your story is only a small part of the person God has imagined you to be. You have to get this book. Thank you so much for tuning in. Abuse Without Colors, Naked and Not Ashamed. Have a nice week.